Hey everybody, welcome to Dryer Days Art Studio. This is Catherine. I'm so happy to have you here today. This is the piece I'm going to be working on in this video. It is on a 12-inch in diameter MDF board that my husband helped me cut, and we sanded it and gesso primed it, and then I painted it black with a black craft paint. As you can see there, we are going to be using ArtResin today. I really like ArtResin a lot. If you're not familiar with it and you want to check some out, I will have links in the description for everything in this video that I use, so you can check it out for yourself. I get mostly everything on Amazon. I am an Amazon affiliate, so anything you buy through the links in my description below help to support me and my channel, so thank you so much for that. I've had awesome results with ArtResin. Self-leveling, I haven't had any dimpling or pockets. It has just been really great, really fun to use. So just finishing up my mixing here. You want to make sure you mix things very thoroughly, and I'm making sure that my surface is level, which it is. So I did use acrylic paints with my resin, and I will tell you right now I put way too much paint resin in, and I knew that I did this. So what happened was a lot of my resin is super thick. It's not moving very well. You'll kind of see that as we go here. The only thing I used outside of the acrylic paint was just straight silver glitter that I mixed in. And I was hoping to get kind of different effects using the different texture, but since I really only threw in one other one, I got some good cells and stuff like that, but not really a whole bunch of different movement. If I had thrown in a mica pigment or something, you probably would have seen some different effects. But as you will see here, it does just get very thick. It's really not moving. Ooh, there's that glitter. I just love it. I love shiny. I just love it. And I will be using a technique in this video using a sponge to move this around. I actually found the technique on another resin channel for Stone Coat Resin. They are a company out of Oregon. I'm going to be trying their resin next. I'm super excited about it. But there you can see that kind of seafoam green there is just so thick. I'm just laying it down. It's almost like glue. It's just not going anywhere. So I'm just getting my resin down here, as you can see, and I did want to mention again that all the products that I use are in the description. However, I don't usually list the paints that I use because I find a palette that I want to use and then I form my paint hues around that. So I tend to mix several colors together to get the hue that I want. I will typically use Liquitex Basics paints, but I have used a couple of Winsor Newton. I do use Artist Loft sometimes, but I am primarily a Liquitex Basics user. This is a very old sponge. I've had it a long time. And what I did was I took some clear resin to sort of get it a little moist and wet, rubbing it in so that it's not bone dry on there. And I'm just going to come in and sort of glide it along the top of the resin. I'm not pushing real hard. Now, this was the first time I had tried this technique, so getting my bearings here a little bit. I was trying to just glide it along the top. Again, my resin was super thick. That's my fault. But the great thing about this ArtResin is it is self-leveling, and it dried perfectly. I'll show you at the end. You will see it just dried great. So even though I did add way too much acrylic paint in there, I know better. It still turned out awesome in my opinion. And you know that I kind of noticed I have a Facebook group, Acrylic Pouring and Fluid Painting. It's an awesome group. Everybody's so giving and helpful with their tips and advice and so supportive. I see people that, and I'm like this, that will just have exact ratios for things, are very particular. And I just want to say, you know, just relax about this. Even with the acrylic pouring, you just got to sort of relax about it, because it's, as much as we plan and measure and weigh and try to figure things out, these pieces of artwork are gonna go in a direction that they sort of want to go. And overanalyzing, overthinking, stressing. I knew that I had too much acrylic in those cups with the resin, but I thought, I'm not wasting all of this. I want to try this technique. I'm gonna lay it down, and I have a piece that I'm so happy with now. So just, you know, don't stress it. The motto of my Facebook group is, if it flows, it goes, and just go with it. Just go with the flow. Now that I have moved all the resin around with my sponge so that there are no longer any dry spots on the surface, I am making sure that my edges are covered. Had a little bit of extra, so moving some white around there on my edges, making sure that those surfaces are covered. I did tape the back of this surface. You'll see later me pulling the tape off, and that really helps with drips on the underneath. To use orange sticks and popsicle sticks to move stuff around. You could just use a gloved fingertip with this resin and with this technique to move things around, sort of like finger painting, to get the resin and the colors where you want them. It is going to move a little on its own, especially when you hit this with heat, things are going to move. But really, again, just get comfortable with this, play around with it, and it can be so much fun instead of being so daunting. Coming in to hit this with some heat. I do have a torch, but it was out of butane, so I have been using my heat gun for a while now, and I am really happy with the results. So definitely, if there's people out there who don't want that open flame in their studio or workspace, which I totally understand, I do use a heat gun a lot, and I love this heat gun. Again, that will be listed down in the description with all of the tools that I'm using in this video. Here you can see I'm trying to sort of tilt it and move it, and it is just so thick. And that was because of all that acrylic in there. If it had been thinner, it would have been moving a lot more, but I thought, well, we'll put it down. We'll see where this goes, see how it turns out. Cleaning the drips off as much as I can before I set this aside. I had some leftover resin and colors that I wanted to use on a tile, and here is that. So I had been working probably for about 20-25 minutes at this point, and this resin will stay good for about 35 minutes. And being, as I stated, that I already had acrylic in here, it was, I mean, you can just see it's just so thick. But I had a lot extra, and I wanted to get it on here and try to make possibly a coaster. I'm thinking about maybe putting some of these tiles together for a backsplash, the ones that I really like. So here again, just kind of laying the resin all over, trying to fill in those spots. No real rhyme or reason, just sort of getting it down on there. And I am going to come in with that sponge again here. And again, just kind of skimming over the top, not pressing hard, just getting all of the exposed areas covered with the resin. And I will come around the sides too as well of this tile and touch it up. This tile I did not prepare well in advance and was not taped off in the back. But I am using my heat here, which was going to move it a little bit, but this resin was so thick at this point, it really was not going over those edges much at all. I did wipe them a little bit with my finger, but this pretty much stayed put. And here I will show you it 100% dry. You can see totally hard there, no dimpling. It looks beautiful. I mean, for how kind of I messed up that resin, it really turned out nice. Okay, so here you can see the tape on the back and just the time lapse of me pulling it off, but you can see all the resin sort of underneath, and now you have this nice clean back surface. And here it is 100% dry, nice and shiny, no dimples, no holes. And since I painted that black underneath, I don't know if you can really pick it up here on the screen with my camera, but it really looks layered, especially where the glitter is. It looks like there are layers to this piece, and I only did the one. So I'm just so happy with it. I think it came out beautifully. Again, check out the description if you need any products in the links below. I do use Amazon. I'm an Amazon Prime member. I love it. And if you're thinking about doing Amazon Prime, it is free for 30 days, so you should try that out, get in on that. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Caring is sharing. Come check out the Facebook group, Acrylic Pouring and Fluid Painting. Thank you all for your continued support, and I will see you next time. Keep on pouring.